Pinkai at Del Mar for the TVG Pacific Classic. The defending champ, Game On Dude, is here, but the favorite is a 3-year-old Shared Belief. The 24th TVG Pacific Classic, 8 Eastern on NBC SN.
Don't settle for a slow computer. Just go to mycleanpc.com to get your free computer diagnosis. First, we'll tell you what's slowing down your computer. Then activate the mycleanpc.com software to optimize your computer performance.
I got a free diagnosis for my computer, and they told me exactly what was wrong with it.
My computer is running faster and smoother than it ever has before.
My computer is 100% faster.
Get your free computer diagnosis at mycleanpc.com.
Where's your pain?
Right here.
Right here.
Both elbows.
Introducing CopperFit. Advanced cutting-edge compression garments designed to help relieve muscle and joint soreness.
Where has this been for the last few years? If it can work for me with all the joint pain that I've had, it'll definitely work for you.
Helps reduce swelling.
I've seen a huge difference. To me, I feel really good inside and I've accomplished something, and CopperFit has helped me do that.
The high-performance compression fabric is blended with therapeutic copper to help provide support for muscle soreness and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains.
I definitely recommend it to anybody to give it a try that has pain. For the first week, I've noticed results.
Don't make your body wait another minute. Get yours right now at getcopperfit.com. Your choice of one compression elbow sleeve or knee for $19.99. Order now and you'll receive a second sleeve free. Feel the relieving power of copper compression. Feel the power of CopperFit.
California Chrome in the Kentucky Derby. California Chrome has won the Preakness. It won't be a triple chrome this year. Totalis has won the Belmont Stakes.
NBCSN, home of racing's biggest events, proudly presents the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series.
Summer is winding down, but the racing season is still heating up because the clock is ticking down to the Breeders' Cup.
And the stage is set for the Breeders' Cup Classic. This is unbelievable!
It's the richest event in American racing. So, how do you get there? The Breeders' Cup Challenge. Win and you're in. Today, the heavyweights are out as Game On Dude headlines a first-class field, all running for a spot in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Macho Man!
Now the party rolls on at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. The high rollers, the big names, the best horses, they're all here, cool as ever, in the TVG Pacific Classic.
Southern California's premier horse racing destination, Del Mar, California, just north of San Diego, where a big crowd has gathered today for Del Mar's signature event, the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. The beautiful people are here, fans arriving early this morning, and the lines at the betting windows have been busy all afternoon. A lot of that money wagered on this guy, Game On Dude, the defending Pacific Classic champ. Can the dude go back-to-back? Standing in his way, an undefeated superstar. His name, Shared Belief, last year's 2-year-old champion. This is the TVG Pacific Classic and Pat O'Brien Stakes, all part of the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. And welcome everyone to the official home of the 2017 Breeders' Cup, the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. I'm Lafitte Pinkai. Announced just a couple of months ago, Racing's World Championships for the first time are headed here in the fall of 2017. It's quite an honor. The reason we're here on this afternoon, Del Mar's signature event, the $1 Million Pacific Classic. 1.25 miles, same distance as the Kentucky Derby at stake. $1 million purse and an automatic berth to the winner in the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic November 1st at Santa Anita. Post time just around 5:45 Pacific as we take you inside the starting gate for today's main event. We had a late scratch yesterday. Frack Daddy is out, will not run. Irish Surf, impressive winner of the Cougar a couple of weeks ago. Imperative, he's been disappointing since upsetting Game On Dude in the Charlestown Classic. Ice Cream Truck would be a huge surprise at 30-1. Horses 5 through 8. The defending champ Game On Duty has banked more than $6 million. You know, I know, was third in this event a season ago. Majestic Harbor, he's already in the Breeders' Cup Classic, having won the Gold Cup. Toast of New York, he's won 3 times on a synthetic track by a combined 30-plus length. And horses 9 through 11 clubhouse rides, second in the Gold Cup. Mystery Train making his first start in the States from Argentina. Shared Belief, undefeated 2-year-old champion, 33 opponents faced, 33 opponents defeated. And the field for the Pacific Classic. This is from favorites to long shots. There is no substitute for youth. Shared Belief is 5-2. The old guy, Game On Dude, some still believe morning line of 3-1. Look out for Toast of New York, 10-1 on the morning line. The field's Globetrotter. Speaking of long distance travels, how about our jet set analysts? This is yesterday. There they are at Saratoga. Jerry Bailey, Randy Moss ripping off their equipment right after the Travers Stakes. 3-hour car drive from Saratoga Springs, New York to Philadelphia. The cross-country flight from Philly to San Diego, arriving around 10 a.m. this morning. And you know what? We're going to give them credit for the short drive from San Diego to Del Mar. Whatever it takes to spend an afternoon here at Del Mar for a day of racing. Now joined by Hall of Fame jockey Jerry Bailey, Randy Moss. Guys, you made it. Wake up.
Listen, 2 hours of sleep? What the heck? That's what Starbucks is for.
Hey, look, this is like a dream. I mean, come on. You can do the Travers on Saturday at Saratoga, the Pacific Classic on Sunday at Del Mar, and you get paid for it? That's like a fantasy.
Jet lag not an excuse today for a poor outing, gentlemen. So you had a chance to see a very exciting Travers Stakes yesterday. Today our focus, the Pacific Classic. Game On Dude could not have been more impressive in this event a season ago. He was devastating, winning by 8.5 lengths. What does he have to do in order to successfully defend his Pacific Classic title?
He has to get back to the same form that he showed in March when he won the Santa Anita Handicap, and last year right here when he won the Pacific Classic by 8.5 lengths. The issue is he's 7 years old. Those races are now really the exception rather than the rule in his form. But he is training exceptionally well. It looks like he's set up to run a great race, and he's going to need to because he faces pace competition from the Argentinian speedball Mystery Train and a really good 3-year-old in Shared Belief.
Yeah, the now horse in Shared Belief has not only stolen some of Game On Dude's Pacific Classic thunder, Jerry, he also stole his jockey.
Yeah, and a Hall of Fame winner at that. You don't get in the Hall of Fame by not riding a lot of stake winners, and I think that's what Mike Smith sees in Shared Belief. Multiple stake wins down the road. Now, even though he's done really well with Game On Dude, he went to Bob Baffert, and I think Bob understood that for the future, Shared Belief is the horse, and maybe even for today, because I think he's got a great chance to win.
Now, you mentioned his jockey, Mike Smith, in a groove here at Del Mar this afternoon. 3 victories, including a graded stakes victory, having won the Del Mar Mile. And with that, we welcome in the remainder of our broadcast team, starting with Jay Pribman standing by in the paddock. Jay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lafitte. You know, you're talking about all the travel that Jerry and Randy had to do to get here, but that's nothing compared to what Toast of New York has done for his racing this year. He's based in the United Kingdom, and in March, he flew more than 6,800 miles round trip to Dubai, where he won the United Arab Emirates Derby. Last month, nearly 6,800 miles in the other direction, round trip to New York to compete in the Belmont Derby. And then for this race, 5,400 miles so far, just one way to California for the Pacific Classic. Now, why the trip all the way here from the United Kingdom? Well, because Del Mar has a synthetic racing surface, and the biggest win of this horse's career came on a synthetic surface in Dubai. All the way from Lexington is Kenny Rice.
Thanks, Jay. People love to come here. 2 A-list Hollywood stars known for entertaining on and off screen build a racetrack. If that was today, you'd think Clooney and Pitt. In 1937, it was Bing Crosby and Pat O'Brien. They saw this place as a destination, a hip, young spot to be. And 77 years later, it remains the same, even for fans who never heard of Newt Rockne All-American or any of the great classic movies these guys made. And if you listen close enough, today, Lafitte, you might hear Bing crooning one more time.
A lot like New York at Yankee Stadium, Kenny, Sweet Caroline at Fenway Park. It's Bing Crosby's where the turf meets the surf before and after each race day here at Old Del Mar. Horses on the track for the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien Stakes. Win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Diamond Bachelor is out. Fed Biz is a machine here at Del Mar. Undefeated 3 for 3, the favorite at 9-5, trained by Bob Baffert. Golden Sense taking some action as well, now emerging as the choice at 8-5, and solid support for Big Mocker. In the meantime, you can log on to milliondollarfinish.com and pick the order of the finish of the TVG Pacific Classic for your chance to win cash and a trip to the 2014 Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita. That's milliondollarfinish.com. When we come back, the first of 2 Breeders' Cup Challenge events, the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien Stakes, post time in 4 minutes.
Fantasy football is back, and DraftKings.com ain't messing around. Any player has a shot at thousands, even millions every week. And one-day games is like having a new season every time you play. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Use promo code BANK to play and get free entry in the $5 million Week 1 Kickoff Bash, paying out over $5 million September 7th. Get to DraftKings.com.
West didn't end where Columbus landed. Not on the banks of the Mississippi, or even the coast of California. The new Ram 1500 EcoDiesel with 9,200 pounds of towing and 28 highway miles per gallon. West will never end. Guts, glory, Ram.
Passion drives your commitment. You give it your all to make your mark in the world every day. And tomorrow, you'll be ready to start all over again. We make products that let you do more of what you want. Kubota, built for the best things in life.
Each year, 95% of homeowners won't have a claim. But if you do, with Allstate, your rates won't go up just because of it. Claim Rate Guard from Allstate. Your home protects you, protect it back.
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. You sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want.
You're watching NBCSN's coverage of the Breeders' Cup Challenge, brought to you by 3 Chimneys, home of champion Will Take Charge. Sign up at expressbet.com to play today's races and earn a $125 bonus. Look at that. Desi Arnaz, Lucille Ball here at Del Mar back in the early 50s with jockey Joe Filippi. Desi actually owned a home here in Del Mar, right on the beach, about a mile from the racetrack. John Deere weather and track condition report. Couldn't ask for a better setting. Temperature currently around 74 degrees. Clear skies overhead. The synthetic poly track is always fast, and the turf course is firm. And the field for the upcoming Pat O'Brien Stakes. This is an order of favorites to long shots. Bob Baffert's Fed Biz is the current choice. Defending Pat O'Brien champion Golden Sense, the defending Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile champion, and Big Mocker, who has already qualified for the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint by winning the Bing Crosby here last month. So here's what's at stake in a win-and-you're-in scenario. Not only do you get a guaranteed spot, but your expenses are covered. For today's Pacific Classic, that's worth $100,000. Live look at Fed Biz, the defending Pat O'Brien champion, Randy. Until someone beats him on this track, he's going to be a major factor and favored in just about any race he enters here at Del Mar.
Last year when he won the Pat O'Brien, he set a 7-furlong track record that still stands. Last start off a 9-month layoff, he broke Zenyatta's mile and a 16th track record in the San Diego handicap. 3 for 3 on this surface, and trainer Bob Baffert has won this race 7 times.
Then you have Golden Sense. Simply can't catch a break here at Del Mar, Jerry.
Well, in the race,
go ahead.
Yeah, in the race Randy mentioned last year, in this race, he did finish second to Fed Biz, but he was unlucky. Jockey Patrick Valenzuela got off a little bad, moved way too early, opened up, and couldn't hold on. This year, he's run against some very good horses. Palace Malice in New York in the Met Mile. He made the lead at a mile distance, couldn't quite hang on. So I'm thinking 7/8 is perfect for him if ridden right. Rafael Bejarano's the leading rider here, so, you know, all systems go.
Supremely talented Golden Sense, already a Breeders' Cup champion. And then you have Big Mocker, the gelding, who just defeated Golden Sense in the Grade 1 Bing Crosby. Classic rags to riches story, running in graded stakes racing, a former claimer, guys.
Yeah, from his very first start, he was claimed for $20,000. He is a tremendously consistent horse. 7 furlongs shouldn't be a problem. This could be his last race before the Breeders' Cup Sprint at Santa Anita. That's what the plan is right now, at least.
Comes off a big win in the Bing Crosby on this track. He got a perfect outside stalking position, laying third early. He might get the same kind of trip today.
All right, the early speed.
It will be probably Idexical on the outside. Might outrun Big Mocker, but both those are going to be 1-2 down the backside, I would think, with Golden Sense tracking right in behind him.
7 furlongs on poly track, Grade 2 Pat O'Brien Stakes. $250,000 is the purse. Stepping forward is Big Mocker, looking for another graded stakes victory. Win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Here's Trevor Denman.
Set. And away they go, and they all began smoothly. On the far side, Big Mocker is out quickly, but so is Golden Sense. Indexical from the outside gate, and here's Fed Biz coming through at the rail to join the leaders. Salentio settles in 5th, only 3 lengths off these leaders, a length and a half to Syndicated, and then a gap of 4.5 back to Color of Courage. They run past the 5/8, and Golden Sense taking a keen hold out here. Golden Sense tugging his way along. Big Mocker's second, Indexical on the far side. Fed Biz is right there at the rail, 2 lengths covers 4, and Salentio's in a striking position in 5th. Then a gap of 4 back to Syndicated. Color of Courage has 9 to make up. They run past the 3/8, and Golden Sense now going on gamely, has his ears pricked on the lead. Indexical comes to take him on. Fed Biz, Salentio, something wrong with Big Mocker today. Big Mocker didn't fire at all. They are coming to the top of the lane now, and Golden Sense kicks away smartly up front. And it's Golden Sense gliding home. He's clear by 4. Fed Biz is giving chase. Syndicated coming with a late run down at the rail. Golden Sense clear by 6 with a 16th to go. And Golden Sense scintillating in the Pat O'Brien. He absolutely annihilated them. Golden Sense to Fed Biz, Salentio, then came Syndicated. Color of Courage, Big Mocker, and Indexical.
Avenging his 2nd place finish in this event a season ago, the reigning Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile champ Golden Sense rolls in the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien.
The early portions of the race were not exactly what we had thought as we drew it up on the board. Indexical and Big Mocker didn't show quite the speed, although they were close. Golden Sense, jumped out there early as jockey Rafael Bejarano, who's been making a lot of right decisions here, winning more races at this meet than any other jockey. Felt it was fine, and it obviously was. He had enough to take the lead and still open up through the stretch.
He didn't get off to a real good start in his last race in the Bing Crosby when Big Mocker beat him. But if you go back and you look at his form, he seems to run his best races on the front end. That's the way he won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile last year. If you think back to the Santa Anita Derby, he showed a lot of speed as a 3-year-old and got out there. They've been trying to settle him a little off the pace, but I think he may just want to go to the front.
Golden Sense with Rafael Bejarano in a no doubt about it performance. Top of the stretch here, Jerry. Rafael Bejarano has a ton of horse underneath him. Really only a question at this point of how easily he's going to win this race.
Yeah, Fed Biz was tracking him behind him with really no place to go, but it didn't matter because when Fed Biz did get a shot to run, he couldn't catch up to Golden Sense in that insurmountable lead.
And you know that track record that Fed Biz set last year in the Pat O'Brien? It's now belongs to Golden Sense. 7 furlongs, 120.99 in this race. A blistering performance for Golden Sense.
Golden Sense, and there are the winning connections celebrating the WC Racing Inc. trainer Doug O'Neill, who of course won a Kentucky Derby a couple of years ago with I'll Have Another, won the Preakness Stakes with I'll Have Another. I'll Have Another never had his shot in the Belmont Stakes. And Golden Sense, who he won the Santa Anita Derby as a 3-year-old. We saw him in the Kentucky Derby, and now he has evolved into a terrific top-class middle-distance racehorse. Golden Sense, brilliant in the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien Stakes with Rafael Bejarano. Results when we return.
This is a moment of history.
play. Treat yourself like royalty when wagering on the Sport of Kings with ExpressBet. ExpressBet is the legal, fast, and secure way to bet on over 300 tracks around the world. No other website offers you greater value with 100% free wagering, past performances, video replays, and daily picks. Sign up today to receive a bonus and start earning points with XP Rewards. Earn even more when you refer your friends. It's the most rewarding experience in racing. ExpressBet, your way to play.
In a world filled with fads,
What'd you get? No clue, but it's jacked with protein.
wow, it's nice to get back to basics. New P3 Portable Protein Pack from Oscar Mayer with 13 grams of serious protein. It's P3. It's Oscar Mayer.
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. You sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want.
It's a game of football that has been eagerly awaited for months. Manchester City, Premier League champions.
Man City, Liverpool. Coverage begins tomorrow, 2 Eastern on NBC.
Imagine the cars we drive being able to see so clearly, to respond so intelligently, and so quickly. They can help protect us from a world of unseen danger. It's the stuff of science fiction, minus the fiction. And it is Mercedes-Benz today. See your authorized dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
With Betfair Casino, enjoy the thrill of a casino anytime, anywhere. You'll get $10 free just for joining. We'll double your first deposit up to $1,000. Plus, you can earn up to $50 in Live Nation concert cash. Let's play, NJ. Join at betfaircasino.com to claim your bonuses today.
So this board gives me rates on Progressive Direct and other car insurance companies?
Yes.
But you're Progressive and they're them.
Yes.
But they're here.
Yes.
Are you?
There?
Yes.
No.
Are you them?
I'm me.
But the lowest rate is from them.
Yes.
So them's best rate is?
Here.
So where are them?
Aren't them here?
I already asked you that.
When?
Feels like a while ago.
You want to take it from the top?
Rates for us and them. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Every summer starting in July, tens of thousands flock every race day to racing's Hollywood, the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. The racetrack's Hollywood reputation dates all the way back to its grand opening in 1937, when founding partner Bing Crosby personally greeted the first fans through the gates. Over the years, the track has welcomed some of the biggest names in the world of racing, as well as the world of entertainment, and its proximity to the Pacific Ocean gave birth to a fitting slogan, where the turf meets the surf. An American sporting venue that is truly unique. An institution in Southern California racing for nearly 8 decades, summer at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. It's a big event. Celebrities are out. Genevieve Morton, Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, is here. About Bo Derek, yesterday taking the Ice Bucket Challenge, also the vice chairman of the California Horse Racing Board. One celeb you won't see at Del Mar today, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Joe Torre. Yesterday, Joe Torre Day at Yankee Stadium. His number retired in Monument Park. Torre, a huge racing enthusiast and, of course, co-owner of Game On Dude. Torre, who actually hit .363 in 1971. There's Golden Sense, who went deep in his Grade 2 event, Pat O'Brien Stakes. We do have the Express Bet payouts. It was a chalky finish. Golden Sense, 542.80, 240. Fed Biz, his first loss on a synthetic track here at Del Mar. And Silencio, a good effort. A graded stakes third place finish in his first try on anything but grass. Up next, Grade 1 Pacific Classic. 1.25 miles. And look at the action on Shared Belief. Wow. 2-5. Odds on for the reigning 2-year-old champion. Game On Dude, big overlay. Hanging up there at 5-1. And some support for Toast in New York. We told you how good he is on synthetic tracks like they have here at Del Mar. So Shared Belief becoming a very popular 3-year-old. California Chrome, is a very popular 3-year-old. Having won the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness Stakes, there he is training at his home in Los Alamitos in Cypress, California. Next start, the $1 million Pennsylvania Derby, mid-September, just outside Philadelphia. It was just 3 short months ago. California Chrome was supposed to be the chosen horse, the horse who was going to end this 36-year drought on the Triple Crown. He fell short in the Belmont Stakes. Now, all of a sudden, there seems to be a debate in California as to who the best 3-year-old out west actually is. Could Shared Belief really be that good?
Well, I'm a big fan of his, first of all. And anytime you're undefeated, it gives you kind of a little bit of a pizzazz. But let's look at his record a little closer. The Grade 1, the one Grade 1 he did win was at the end of the year last year when all the other good 2-year-olds had been put to rest. The best horse he's beaten is Candy Boy, who hasn't exactly lit it up. So to me, he's still got a lot of work to do. And you know, California Chrome has already won a few Grade 1s.
Yeah.
And the last 13 times a horse won the Derby and the Preakness, he was voted 3-year-old of the year. So Shared Belief still has a lot to do.
Now look, California Chrome missed the Triple Crown by a length and 3/4. All right. So if you say Shared Belief is a better horse than California Chrome, then essentially you're saying that Shared Belief is a Triple Crown winner. They're the 2 best 3-year-olds in the country, not just California. But I'm not ready to say just yet.
Little premature. Maybe a little premature.
Little premature.
Game on Dude, though, it's been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, he was devastating in this event a season ago. But now he's lost 5 of 6 races. Which version of Game on Dude shows up this afternoon?
Well, looking at the odds right now, it looks like the bettors think it's going to be the Game on Dude that's been losing. But the thing about Game on Dude, I think now at age 7, he needs a trip like he got in the Pacific Classic a year ago. He can no longer take the worst of the running and be in a disadvantageous position and still pull it off. In the Pacific Classic a year ago, he controlled the early pace, kicked away around the turn when he needed to, opens up to win by 8.5, the largest winning margin in the history of the race. Earlier this year, though, this summer, in the Gold Cup at Santa Anita, things did not go as smoothly for him.
And they might not go that smoothly this afternoon. When he gets his own way, he can be a super horse. But when he doesn't, he seems to show up like this. Now, this doesn't even look like the old Game on Dude. When he didn't come with his best race, he still hung in there pretty well. He's folding in the towel pretty well here. So when he's bad this year, he's very bad.
But look at the horse beating him. There's Majestic Harbor winning the Grade 1 Gold Cup. What does this tough, hard-knocking 6-year-old finally have to do to earn some respect?
Well, he's got to do that again.
Just that easy.
A career best. And that's easier said than done because his only race on synthetic was at Keeneland, and it was a pretty substandard race. So he's got to prove that he can not only do that again and pair him up, but do it on a synthetic track.
That was a very weirdly run race, the Gold Cup at Santa Anita, a bizarrely fast pace, and it also happened to be by far the best race of Majestic Harbor's career. So you begin to think, did one cause the other? Was that a fluke for Majestic Harbor, or is that really how good he's going to be from here forward?
Yeah, Game on Dude won last year's Gold Cup and Pacific Classic. Majestic Harbor trying to do the same here in 2014 as we check in with Kenny Rice, standing by live with Game on Dude's trainer, Bob Baffert. Kenny.
All right, Lafitte, and the defending champ. So, Bob, that's been the talk. How is Game on Dude? Has he still got his fastball?
You know what? I really think he does. But he's such a target now, and everybody knows his Achilles heel is to run him in the ground, try to run him in the ground early, take that lead away from him. So, you know, today we're just, instructions are you just got to let him roll, and hopefully some long shot doesn't go with him. So if he can just get out there the first quarter, we'll know if he has a chance or not.
That long shot could be mystery train. You mentioned somebody getting out there right with him.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, in this race like this, everybody wants to take a shot, but if we can get a clean break, once we get a clean break and just get him into his groove, and Mike Smith knows that if he gets in his groove, how dangerous he is. So I think that he'll be on our tail right pretty close.
And when Mike Smith decides to switch over to Shared Belief, that caused some questions. Does he think it's over for Game on Dude? What was that conversation like when Mike said, I'm going to make a switch, Bob?
Well, we really never had that conversation. I talked to his agent, but I knew when he won that race, he's a younger horse. And plus, Game on Dude, when you have a target like that, every race, they're going to throw all these horses at you. He's got a young horse that's tactical, that's very fast. He's got a bright future. We're 7. That's like Mike Smith, 50 years old.
I understand. Well, good luck.
I couldn't blame him. Thank you.
All right, good luck today, Bob. Let's go to Jay.
And the horse who beat Game on Dude last time out is Majestic Harbor, trained by Sean McCarthy. His wife, Kim, works for Bob Baffert. Sean, what was it like winning the biggest race of your career last time with this horse?
It was a thrill of a lifetime, no doubt about it. It was as exciting as you could hope it would be.
And Kim, for you, what was it like showing up at work the next day? You've been married to Sean for 20 years. You've worked for Bob for 16. What were your loyalties like?
I did get a few texts saying, do you still have a job? I said, well, I'm hoping to. We'll see how that goes.
All right, best of luck today, you guys. Lafitte?
Majestic Harbor trying to upset Game On Dude once again, but the dude has the work cut out for him. Not the favorite today. There's a new kid on the block whose owner needs no introduction.
Still to come, he's a famously fast talker who finds himself with a seriously fast thoroughbred. Jim Rome is riding high with the undefeated Shared Belief. That story and much more when we return to Del Mar.
Fantasy football is back, and DraftKings.com ain't messing around. Any player has a shot at thousands, even millions every week. And one-day games is like having a new season every time you play. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Use promo code BANK to play and get free entry in the $5 million Week 1 Kickoff Bash, paying out over $5 million September 7th. Get to DraftKings.com.
Take it easy, baby. I worked all day and my feet feel just like lead. You got my shirt tails flying all over the place and the sweat dropping out of my head. She said, hey, bossa nova, baby, keep on working, fellas, ain't no time to quit. She said, go, bossa nova, baby, keep on dancing. I'm about to have myself a fit.
This is a moment of history.
Treat yourself like royalty when wagering on the Sport of Kings with ExpressBet. ExpressBet is the legal, fast, and secure way to bet on over 300 tracks around the world. No other website offers you greater value with 100% free wagering, past performances, video replays, and daily picks. Sign up today to receive a bonus and start earning points with XP Rewards. Earn even more when you refer your friends. It's the most rewarding experience in racing. ExpressBet, your way to play.
Once a year, they line up for the auction that produces racing's finest athletes. From the sale that has produced 2014 Saratoga and Del Mar standouts, Stop Chargin' Maria, Tom's Tribute, Wicked Strong, and Sweet Reason, comes the next generation of thoroughbred elite. Don't miss the Yearlings of Keeneland September. Why buy anywhere else?
You still have time. Log on to MilliondollarFinish.com and pick the order of the finish of the TVG Pacific Classic for your chance to win cash and a trip to the 2014 Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita. Updated odds 17 minutes out to the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. Look at that. Shared Belief odds on 3-5. Toast to New York 7-1. Game On Dude 3-1. Also solid support for Majestic Harbor. A bit of an overlay 13-1. But Jim Rome is well known for talking sports and offering bold opinions on TV and radio. There he is. But these days, he's off the sideline and into the game with his talented 3-year-old Shared Belief.
You know, for a guy who's made his living running his mouth and popping off on the radio, horse racing is one of the most humbling things I've ever participated in. I let the horse do the talking, I keep my mouth shut, I keep my fingers crossed, and I hope for the best. And when we got into this, we'd go down to Del Mar, usually once a summer. We'd have a cocktail and have a good time. But my wife, Janet, said, you know, you need a hobby. Let's get out of the house. All you do is work. Let's buy a peaceful racehorse. The horse came from last to first, right out of the clouds, and won the race. And then it was in my bloodstream, and I couldn't stop. The Breeders' Cup is a spectacle unlike anything I've seen in sports, and I've seen it here at Santa Anita the last couple of years, and it is an awesome, awesome show and an awesome spectacle. Huge crowds, lots of glamour, the beautiful people, lots to eat, lots to drink, and the finest horses in the world, and a whole lot of cash and glory that everybody is chasing. If you're in the sport, you want a horse and you want to be a part of that. When Misdirection won the Turf Sprint the first time, I mean, I've had some amazing days in my life. The day I married my wife was the best day of my life, alongside the days my two sons were born. But outside of that, Misdirection, winning the turf sprint, was the single most surreal and spectacular day of my entire life.
And away they go.
She had never been in a Grade 1 race. She had never won a Grade 2 race. And we've got her coming down the hill, and she's 10 lengths back. And I'm like, boy, she bit off more than she can chew. This is going to go really badly.
Misdirections now drop back 9 lengths off the leaders.
And then all of a sudden, she starts picking horses off.
Misdirection.
And then it hits me. She's going to win this race.
And Misdirection came storming home to win it.
And the whole thing was just so unbelievable and spectacular, and it was one of the best days ever.
You're properly a convert to the sport of horse racing now. Properly.
Shared Belief. Really precocious horse, really unique horse. He is extremely athletic, and he's got unbelievable push-button acceleration. If for better or for worse, this is what I'm rocking on the phone right now. That is Shared Belief. Oh, man, it's a pretty handsome dude right there. My wife's like, come on now, you think maybe you can get me or the kids on there? He is unbeaten. He is confident. He's won all his races in pretty spectacular fashion. I mean, he's done everything right so far. Until he gives me a reason not to believe, there's no reason I shouldn't.
And he'll be the first to tell you he was not a fan of the sport. Now it's an obvious passion. Jim Rome and his star colt Shared Belief favored in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. Now Shared Belief shows up today undefeated in 5 career starts. Almost as impressive as a 2003 Pacific Classic winner, his father, Candy Ride. Candy Ride arrived a perfect 6 for 6. Brilliant in this race 11 years ago, winning by a commanding 3.5 lengths. So from the least experienced horse in the field, Shared Belief, we go to the veteran of this Pacific Classic crew. And Clubhouse Ride coming in. What can we expect from him in the Pacific Classic?
You can expect him to be close at the finish. He doesn't win these a lot. He's only got a couple of graded wins, but he's been in the money 11 of 15 times he's running these kind of races. And usually he gets a good trip, at least the last 2 he has, but he doesn't win a lot.
He's a nice horse. He's made $1.3 million, but the fact is, if he's going to win the Pacific Classic today, he's going to have to run the very best race of his life. And since he's a 6-year-old who's already made 38 starts, that seems improbable, if you will.
Like Shared Belief, Clubhouse Ride is also a son of the 2003 Pacific Classic winner in Candy Ride as we get down to Kenny Rice.
Trainer Darrell Vienna likes to keep things interesting. He's a lawyer. He has a psychology degree. He's a published poet. At one time, he was a professional bull rider. And Vienna also has a very keen eye for finding talent, especially when he's gone to South America in the past. He's hoping that's the case today with Mystery Train, who set a record and then broke a track record within a matter of weeks in Argentina. He makes his U.S. debut today. Vienna told me he's never run on a synthetic track. He doesn't know, but he has made things interesting for the veteran trainer coming in here today, Lafitte.
Yeah, Kenny, V.E. Day won the Travers yesterday at 19-1. Why can't Mystery Train win the Pacific Classic at 26-1, Randy? Yeah, what do we know about this Pacific Classic dark horse?
Well, he was well named. You know, when horses come from Argentina to the U.S., they are a mystery because on paper we get very little information. We get their finish position, nothing about how they won their races. Did they come from way back? Did they take the early lead? So we did it the old American way. We went to Google and we Googled the horse and the name of those races in Argentina, and what we saw were replays of a speedball straight to the lead.
And if you think he's going to change his style coming here, he's not. His trainer, Darrell Vienna, said this is the way he runs. This is the way he's going to run.
It's not going to help Game Undo.
When we're getting closer and closer to the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic win, and you've earned the right to run in North America's richest horse race, the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic.
Happy Vegas season.
Passion drives your commitment. You give it your all to make your mark in the world every day. And tomorrow, you'll be ready to start all over again. We make products that let you do more of what you want. Kubota, built for the best things in life.
Momentum
Momentum has a way of quietly exploding onto the scene. The new Ram 1500 Eco Diesel with 28 highway miles per gallon, 420 pound-feet of torque. Guts, glory, Ram.
Want to look at the races in a totally new way? Check out Entries Plus, a free product from Equibase that is visual, fun, and interactive, and now available right on your phone. Each tab provides different views of information for each horse, giving fans a whole new way to look at a race. Sort columns, touch to view past race details, plus add and delete what you want to see. Access Entries Plus at equibase.com on mobile or the QR code in your track program. Equibase, the thoroughbred industry's official database, straight to your phone.
Is that him?
Back live at Del Mar. Time now for the DRF post parade for the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. We start with Irish Surf number 2, regally bred by Giants Causeway out of a champion mare in Surfside.
Last race, the best of his career, right here at Del Mar, the winner of a minor stakes race at 1.5 miles.
Number 3, Imperative, first of 4 millionaires in the field.
Trained by George Papadromo, ridden by Kent DeSormo, Hall of Famer, won this race in 1992 on Missionary Ridge.
Number 4, Ice Cream Truck, running in a $1 million race just 3.5 months after being claimed for $20,000.
He is 65 to 1 right now. Trainer AC Avila's had 5 starters in this race, averaged 71 to 1. So this is kind of fitting.
Number 5, Game On Dude, the defending champ.
The old man got the same team back as winning last year. Trainer Bob Baffert and Joaquin Martin Garcia, who was in Saratoga with us yesterday.
Number 6, You Know I Know, third behind Game On Dude in last year's Pacific Classic.
And in his last race, he was third behind FedBiz in the San Diego handicap right here.
Number 7 is Majestic Harbor, nicknamed Rocky, winner of the Santa Anita Gold Cup.
Ridden by Tyler Bays, trained by Sean McCarthy, getting his first Grade 1 win in the Gold Cup last out. In that race, he had the highest last race buyer speed figure at 111.
Number 8, Toast in New York, has been acting up. There he is. We saw some of this before the Belmont Derby where he underperformed.
Yes, I mean, he has been a bad boy recently, but this is his favorite surface, as Jay Privman mentioned earlier, synthetics.
Number 9, Clubhouse Ride, hard-knocking 6-year-old, finished in the money in 24 of 38 lifetime starts.
Trained by Craig Lewis, ridden by Joe Talamo, who incidentally just won his first riding title at the Santa Anita Spring Summer Meet.
Mystery Train number 10, the Argentine 4-year-old making his U.S. debut.
Well, we saw in those replays almost uncontrollable early speed. He broke track records at Argentina in 2 of his last 3 starts, including at 1.25 miles.
And the would-be star of the show. There he is, the odds-on favorite, Shared Belief, the 2013 2-year-old champ. 5 straight victories by a combined 29 lengths.
And got Hall of Fame connections. Jerry Hollendorfer, his trainer's in there, so is Mike Smith, who's won this race 3 times already, going for his 4th.
Field of 10 for the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. This is the 24th edition. To the winner, their winner's share of $1 million purse and a spot in the starting gate for North America's richest horse race, the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic. Selection time, gentlemen. Who wins today's featured event?
Well, I'm going with the 3. I have been with this horse for a couple of weeks now, unlike somebody else.
Yeah.
But I just think tactically he's got the advantage, and now that we've discovered this fast horse in here to go with Game On Dude, that being Mystery Train, gives him even that much more of an advantage. He gets a wake break. Mike Smith knows Game On Dude. Everything points to Shared Belief.
You sound sold.
It's basically embarrassing. He's 3 to 5, right? You know, but I was convinced that Game On Dude was going to win this race a couple of weeks ago, and even last week. But then you see what this horse, you know, a Mystery Train can do early, and that can really mess with Game On Dude's mojo, as we heard Bob Baffert say earlier. So I think Shared Belief is going to get a perfect trip sitting in 3rd behind them, and I just don't see a scenario where it's worth picking against him. If I was betting, I'd sit it out.
It's the now horse, Shared Belief, taking on the defending champ and Game On Dude. There is Shared Belief. Odds on 4 to 5. The Pacific Classic when we return. Stay tuned.
Hey, happy Vegas season.
IndyCar's final race is on its fastest track. 500 miles is all that stands between a king and his crown. Who will be
King. Mav TV 500, Saturday 9 Eastern on NBC.
Game time. What is this? Where's the remote? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, you feet, honey. This is a mess. I had it here. Where is it? I can't watch the game without the remote. Shh. Do you have it?
I have the Optimum app. It can change channels, search for shows, even program the DVR.
Can it change the channel to basketball?
It can, but I won't.
Control your TV with the Optimum app. Get it today at optimum.net/app. Optimize your app.
Huntington Jeep Chrysler Dodge and Ram, Long Island's oldest and most experienced Jeep dealer, is remodeling to serve you better. After over 40 years in the same location, we are building a new showroom. We must move our sales and showroom headquarters down the road 2.8 miles east to Huntington Jeep East in Comac. Great deals now available during the summer clearance event. 0 down payment on advertised prices. Huntington Jeep Chrysler Dodge, open 24/7 at huntingtonjeep.com.
Looking for great deals? Shopping for a new car? Want to play the hottest games? Tune to the 600s. They're your interactive channels, available all day, every day. On Market Showcase, find the best deals, sweepstakes, and more. With Newsday Cars, get info on new and pre-owned cars and find a list of local dealerships. With Tag Games, play exciting games like Bejeweled 2 and Blackjack. Then browse the rest of the 600s for channels dedicated to your favorite brands. With the 600 channels, there's something for everyone.
You gotta love the scenery down where the turf meets the surf. Where the dapper daddies and lovely ladies have come to see and be seen. Where there's a spot in the Breeders' Cup Classic on the line.
And the stage is set for the Breeders' Cup Classic.
And where the horses are ready to run, baby. It's race day at Del Mar and the TVG Pacific Classic.
Welcome back to gorgeous Del Mar and the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club on their signature day of racing. The Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic is in 3 minutes. Updated odds from favorites to long shots, shared belief, even money now. The defending champ, Game On Dude, is 2-1. Toast of New York, despite the fact he's acting bad, 7-1. Third choice as we check in with Kenny Rice.
All right, thanks, Lafitte. Christian Helmers won a World Handicapping Tournament, over $500,000 along the way. You know horses. Who wins today?
Well, okay. So first of all, Game On Dude, he's kind of a black swan. He has his demons, and when he gets pressured, when eyes are on him, he stops twirling. And so there's something about him and pressure. And most people are somewhat aware that Mystery Train is gonna fly with him. And so what that's gonna do is it's gonna make this race potentially disastrous for both Game On Dude and Shared Belief.
And who wins?
I'm gonna play to win You Know I Know, Irish Surf, and I'll use Mystery Train. All 3 of them I'll bet to win because I think that this thing is going to collapse potentially, or Mystery Train could steal it.
All right, thanks, Christian. All right, Lafitte.
It's a feel thing with Helmers. He uses the force. Say what you want, but it works. The guy prints money going with a long shot. You Know I Know in this Pacific Classic. As we look at number 8 currently is Toast of New York, and now settled down and acting a lot better than he was previously. Now, how did Victor Espinosa wind up on the back of Toast of New York? Toast of New York's trainer, Jamie Osborne, took to Twitter, and he was looking for a jockey. And he asked, does anybody know who the best available California jockey might be? The overwhelming support and response was for Victor Espinosa. Why not? He won the Kentucky Derby. He won the Preakness Stakes in California Chrome. I don't know, guys. Victor Espinosa may have been thinking the Twitter sphere, and they didn't do him any favors by putting him on this horse by the way he was acting.
Espinosa's fortunate that his agent Brian Beach is a tweeter and happened to see that tweet by Jamie Osborne, so that's how he winds up on him. And look, and there's Game On Dude. Which one are we going to see?
Well, I don't know. Bob Baffert referenced earlier that he had to leave the gate well. Well, he's been leaving the gate pretty well. As a matter of fact, in the Gold Cup, he left the gate great, but he was challenged so hard early by Fury Cap Corey, which is what he's going to try and avoid with Mystery Train. But if he is on his game like he was earlier in the spring, speed early doesn't matter because he'll put that one away and keep on going.
Take a look at Mystery Train. We look at Game On Dude, 5-2. There is Mystery Train and the potential thorn in the side of Game On Dude.
Will the speed that he showed in Argentina translate to the United States? If so, how long will he be able to sustain that speed in the face of pressure from Game On Dude that we would expect to occur? Those are the two big questions about both Game On Dude and Mystery Train.
And if it only happens for 3/8 or half a mile, then I think Game On Dude's still in pretty good shape. Even though Shared Belief there will be tracking closely, and Mike Smith knows Game On Dude very, very well. So, and he said Shared Belief is very responsive, so he will be tracking, knowing he can get him anytime he wants if Shared Belief is what we think he is.
Post time for the 2014 Grade 1 Pacific Classic. Shared Belief slightly reluctant to load. Will he remain undefeated? It's post time. Here's Trevor Denman.
And away they go in the TVG Pacific Classic to a perfect break. Mystery Train on the outside, the big long shot. Mystery Train sprinting away. Game On Dude began beautifully though, and there goes Game On Dude on the inside. They couldn't be going any quicker. They're absolutely sprinting out here. It's 4 lengths back to Toasted New York. Irish Surf down at the rail. In behind that we have Majestic Harbor, and here's Shared Belief in the black colors racing along 6-5 off those leaders. Ice Cream Truckers down at the rail. You Know I Know's alongside of that. Clubhouse Ride taken back second last, gives them 10 length start. And last of all is Imperative. They hit past the 3/4 pole, and Game On Dude showing the way. Game On Dude 3 parts of a length. Mystery Train keeps the pressure on second. 4 lengths back to Irish Surf in third. Toast of New York on the far side. Majestic Harbor at the rail. Shared Belief is racing between horses now. Shared Belief is 6 lengths behind Game On Dude. Then it's You Know I Know. Behind that Ice Cream Truck, Clubhouse Ride. Imperative is last, a good 13 off them. Past a half mile they go, and Game On Dude set sail for home. Game On Dude opens up to lead by 6 as they go into the turn. Toast in New York coming after them. You Know I Know. Shared Belief is starting his run. Now Shared Belief is on the move, and here comes Shared Belief in the black cap on the outside. 1/4 mile to go. Game On Dude. Toast of New York running a huge one, but it is Shared Belief who's now let loose, and here is Shared Belief on the grandstand side going right on by. Homeward bound in the Pacific Classic, and it's all Shared Belief. Toast of New York. Game On Dude dropping out of it, but it is Shared Belief in another absolutely awesome performance. Shared Belief will remain unbeaten and basically untested. Mike Smith and Shared Belief have won the TVG Pacific Classic. Toast of New York second. Imperative ran on late with Irish Surf and Game On Dude. Then Majestic Harbor. Behind that Ice Cream Truck. You Know I Know. And then Mystery Train and Clubhouse Ride.
A superstar performance from last year's 2-year-old champion, Shared Belief, undefeated in 6 starts and winner of the 2014 TVG Pacific Classic.
A couple of things. Mystery Train did fall off fairly early down the backside. Game On Dude had what he needed if he was the old self. But what impressed me the most about the winner, Shared Belief, was how far back Mike Smith was early. He wasn't stalking. He was mid-pack. Shows you the confidence. Mike Smith had told us earlier that he thought the acceleration that Shared Belief had gave him the option to move anytime he wanted, because he knew he could make up a lot of ground in a short amount of time. He certainly rode him very patient, knowing exactly how fast they were going up front, and turning for home, and he got the money.
Trevor Denman announcing there is a steward's inquiry. You saw Toast of New York and Victor Espinosa may be impeded or bothered by Mike Smith and Shared Belief.
That was at about the 3/16 pole, maybe a little bit before that, when Shared Belief was storming to the lead. You saw Espinosa have to steady just a bit, but Shared Belief was so dominant here. I'll be very surprised if anything happens with this inquiry.
Here we come turning for home. Game On Dude is ID'd on the rail. Mike Smith going left-handed on Shared Belief. He's trying to lug in a little bit, but believe me, that is nothing.
No, he was clear.
That's a good acting job by Victor. Probably the only way he's going to be able to beat Shared Belief is via disqualification. But actually, Shared Belief was running too fast to bother Victor.
And a nice effort from Toast of New York. You know, the horse that was acting up before the race, it ran poorly in the Belmont Oaks on grass to his favorite surface, because this was a superstar performance by Shared Belief. Good effort for both horses.
So the bad boy claims foul. Here's the head-on. This is after the would-be interference. Gentlemen, do the stewards and judges take into consideration how easily a horse wins when there is a lodged objection or an inquiry?
You can forget about that.
Well, they might, but the rule is you can cross lanes and go in front of another horse if you're clear, and Mike was clear. I mean, that was a fairly halfway good acting job by Victor Espinosa, but he was not impeded by Shared Belief.
Halfway good acting job. Somewhere Vladi Divac is smiling at the would-be flop.
This still doesn't prove that Shared Belief is as good as or better than California Chrome. But
wow, what's it going to take?
He's certainly in the conversation. He's going to have to run against him.
If Game On Dude would have come with his good race today and he'd have run him down in the last 16, I would have given this horse a lot more credit. He's still undefeated and he deserves a lot of respect. However, I think to go in front of California Chrome in 3-year-old honor terms, he's going to have to beat him.
And what a race that's going to be. Hopefully we'll see it in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
It'll be a jungle in the winner's circle as Jim Rome's Shared Belief scores in the Pacific Classic. We check in with Kenny Rice.
Jerry Hollendorfer, winning trainer. You worried about this inquiry?
I'm not sure. You know, the stewards are looking at it and taking a while to look at it.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think he interfered with the horse, no.
What do you think about this performance? He's still perfect, and he just took off like a shot.
Great performance.
What's been impressive about this horse as he's grown throughout this year, Jerry?
Just his consistency, and he does whatever we ask him to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lafitte.
He can't enjoy it yet.
He
With
can't
the
take his
pending
eyes.
inquiry, he can't enjoy it.
He can't take his eyes off the tote board.
Well, here we take one more look at it. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen. Mike Smith in the 3-lane with Shared Belief. Everybody's in their lane. Victor Espinosa on Toast of New York is in the 2-lane. Game On Dude keeps his path on the rail. And as Mike goes by and starts to open up, he goes to the left hand to make sure that Shared Belief doesn't go in too much, because he can feel the horse starting to lean in slightly. But he's not even in front of Victor Espinosa when he starts to stand up and steady, and now he's already clear of him. So, in my opinion, this is a ghost.
11, 8, 3, 5. Pending inquiry, Shared Belief. Undefeated for the time being. A decision from the stewards when we come back. Smitty's on the horn.
It all started with a dream. A dream to be the best. To breed the best. To race the best. And to stand the best. Windstar Farm. Dedicated to the dream.
Passion drives your commitment. You give it your all to make your mark in the world every day. And tomorrow, you'll be ready to start all over again. We make products that let you do more of what you want. Kubota, built for the best things in life.
We don't sit idle, wondering how we're going to build a better truck. We get out there and walk a mile, thousands of miles, in the footsteps of the guys we build trucks for. The groundbreaking Ram Heavy Duty, with 30,000 pounds of towing and 850 pound-feet of torque.
How do action heroes walk away from movie explosions and never look back? Lobster, that's how.
At Golden Corral, add a North Atlantic lobster tail for just $4.99. Just $4.99 only at Golden Corral.
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. You sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want.
You're watching NBCSN's coverage of the Breeders' Cup Challenge, brought to you by ExpressBet.com. Open an account and earn a $125 bonus. Stewards rule, no change to the unofficial order of finish in Embrace. From Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith, Hall of Fame trainer Jerry Hollendorfer, Shared Belief. Now the official winner of the 24th edition of the Grade 1 TVG Pacific Classic. We'll have those payouts shortly, but first we check in with Jay Pribman standing by.
I'm with Kip Levin, the president and chief executive officer of TVG and Betfair US, with majority owner Jim Rome of Jungle Racing, the owner of Shared Belief. Kip?
On behalf of everybody at TVG, congratulations on winning the TVG Pacific Classic and everybody associated with Shared Belief.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Jim, you've won a couple of Breeders' Cup races. How does this compare with an undefeated 3-year-old colt?
I'd say it's right there. It's right there. The Breeders' Cup was something that was so far beyond my comprehension and imagination. But this guy, this guy's got a bullseye on his back, and people know about this horse. And I've been saying this, we've never asked him to do what we asked him to do today, go 1.25 miles, do it against older, and for him to come back from as far back as he was and overcome that adversity, I could not be more proud of Shared Belief. He was awesome.
Any moment of anxiety when the inquiry was going on?
Yeah, those 4 minutes felt like 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean, like I just said, the two greatest words I've ever heard in my life was no change. Some anxious moments to be sure, but I'm glad it worked out.
Well, another good word is undefeated. Congratulations. Lafitte?
Shared Belief, in case you're wondering why you didn't see him in the Triple Crown, he was injured. He didn't start until a month ago. His first start is a 3-year-old, but maybe, just maybe, the best thing that ever happened to him, not running in the Triple Crown.
Oh, look, I rode a horse called Cigar that didn't run in the Triple Crown because he had a knee injury early, and he turned out to be a great horse, 17 in a row. And I don't hold anything against Shared Belief for not running in the Triple Crown, but you still can't forget what California Chrome did. And this horse, Shared Belief, has gone from 6 furlongs to 1.1 miles to 1.25 miles. This year, he's won them all, different surfaces. So, yes, I do give him a lot of credit. I'm just waiting for the head-to-head. That's what I would like to see between California Chrome and Shared Belief. But let's not forget, in the Classic division, you have a horse called Leah on the East Coast. It's going to run next week, and it might have something to say about it.
Hats off to that man to Jim Rome's left, the trainer Jerry Hollendorfer with the sunglasses. I mean, he has made all the right decisions with Shared Belief, because earlier this year when he had the little injury, a lot of guys would have persevered and tried to push him through to make the Triple Crown. Hollendorfer said, no, I'm going to do what's best for the horse. 5
races down in the Challenge division for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Add Shared Belief's name. We have 2 more on the same afternoon. We'll broadcast those here on NBCSN. The Jockey Club Gold Cup Grade 1 from Belmont Park and the Awesome Again Stakes at Santa Anita on the 27th of September. What a performance, Shared Belief. And Jim Rome still celebrating that stirring performance by Shared Belief, and things really kind of changing in not only the Classic picture, but for the 3-year-olds. Yesterday, you guys were back for the Travers, and you saw an upset in VE Day. And the favorites being defeated, maybe their stock drops a touch. As you look at the Express Bet payouts, Shared Belief returning 440, 320, 280, and the stock rising. Shared Belief, would you put him perhaps only behind California Chrome if you were to rank the 3-year-olds?
Oh, definitely. The 2 best 3-year-olds in America, by I think hands down, are California Chrome and Shared Belief. I mean, obviously the Belmont Winter Toneless is a nice horse, so is Wicked Strong. VE Day ran well, but these 2 are the cream of the crop. Just think, I mean, it's kind of futile to even think about what might have been. But if Shared Belief had made it into the Triple Crown against California Crown, we could have had an affirmed Aladar type thing going, because both of these horses are so good.
We still might see it.
We still
might see it in that Breeders' Cup Classic at Santa Anita November 1st. As we wind things down here at Del Mar next Saturday, the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series continues with the Forego Stakes and Woodward Handicap, Saturday, 6 Eastern on NBCSN. Special thanks to our broadcast partner, TVG, and to Equibase, official supplier of racing information and statistics for the Breeders' Cup. For the entire NBC Sports crew, I'm Lafitte Pinkai saying good night from Del Mar, where we watch the 2-year-old champion romp in Pacific Classic 24 Shared Belief. Have a great night, everyone.
In the summer of 2016, for the first time ever, the spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life in one of the world's most dazzling cities. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio on NBC.
Nanjing, China.
As week 2 of these Youth Olympic Games continues, nearly 3,800 of the world's greatest young athletes, some traveling out of their home countries for the very first time, gather to celebrate their cultures and experience competition on the world stage. It's day 8 of the 2014 Youth Olympic Games. The diving competition at the